How's it feeling?
It feels pretty good. Just got back from the locker room and everyone seems to be pretty happy. A little tired, but happy.
When you're getting those signature type wins, I mean, you've had a couple already this season. I mean, what statement does this make on another one that you guys are especially battling back against?
I mean, it kind of just shows that no one can sleep on us. We can beat any team we play against.
Discuss your stamina and just you mentioned your energy level. You're a post player playing every minute of action. Just discuss the effort it takes to do that, and is that something you come into a game just you don't want to be off the court, and discuss that effort?
I mean, I knew going into this season that I was probably going to play a lot of minutes. Wasn't necessarily expecting 40, but we did a lot of good work in the off season with conditioning. So I just kind of, it's right now it's just something I'm used to, so it's not a huge deal anymore.
Has it changed your adjustments just pre-game and post-game, just knowing that you're going to be playing these amount of minutes now that you're in the season?
Yeah, I don't dunk it as much. I pretty much conserve my energy when at all possible. So yeah, it's definitely something to consider. Like right now, we have a game tomorrow, so I don't think we're going to do like anything during practice.
Right.
They put a lot of pressure on you at the end of the game to try to get back in the game. You think that's something you'll be watching in the film session?
Yeah, I mean, it's just I think we weren't necessarily prepared for that kind of a pressure, and like credit to them because they did a great job pressing. So I think we'll probably, if I had to imagine, we'll probably look at that and work on some more press break stuff just in case we're in that same situation later on.
That was something you saw from them when you watched the film originally, or?
Mm-hmm. We knew they did press, but it's just seeing it on film and having it in the game is two different things.
Like you won't dunk like in warm-ups or in practice or
Both.
Oh really? Oh.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know why. I mean, again, mostly because conservative, especially.
Right,
I mean, if it's in the off season, I'll be a little bit more jumpy, but especially like now, it's pretty much just straight layups.
Defensively, you had 7 blocks last night. What's it been about this year? You're getting these 5, 6, 7 block efforts. Is this just scouting, or are you just seeing teams not respecting your inside presence? What are you noticing from
that? To be
that?
honest, it's just something that happens. It's like, I mean, I don't scout it out and like try to pick out a specific guy to block. It's just, I mean, it does like it will depend on the teams because some guys I think it was mostly against the post players that blocked it. So it's just like depending if they go at me more.
Yeah.
You had 2 different rebounders for Syracuse. Basically, you had Thompson, who gets off his feet real quick, and you had Lyden, who likes to bang under there. Does that make it a little more difficult?
Yeah, and we played a fair amount of zone, and when you're in a zone, it's always kind of hard to find a guy because if it's man, you're pretty much next to your guy the whole entire time, so you know who you're boxing out. With zone, you have to try to find someone, and they're both pretty active post players, so it's hard to get a good read on them.
In your conditioning Armstrong, what was like the hardest thing you guys had to do?
Really, it's like in the preseason we did like 3 days a week, and it was pretty much the same thing, but it was like kind of which Dan did a pretty good job because it's like conditioning's never fun.
Right.
But it wasn't just like straight running back and forth on the court the whole entire time. We kind of mixed it up. So like we would do some like suicides, but then we would like also do like a kind of like a tennis ball game where it's like you put some like tennis balls on the 4 corners of the court and you have to like kind of zigzag across and race against other players. So stuff like that makes it at least a little bit more interesting.
Chris, are the scouting reports you get that are like the coaches prepare for, are they different than what you'd had previously?
They're relatively same. They're not quite as detailed necessarily, but they have just as much information or like the necessary information that you need, really.
Roger. Any questions, Roger?
Question?
Is there any more like analytic stuff in there, or that they bring up to you?
I'd say it's almost a little less.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which I mean, it's like both are good in their way. It's just like different kind of style. Like these guys maybe are a little bit more just like be a basketball player and respond to like what you see in the game.
Right. Okay.
Describe that vibe you were mentioning about what the locker room is like with you guys and just the camaraderie, especially when you're playing like this.
I mean, it's always good to come off a win, and especially like this, it's because Syracuse is obviously a great team, so everyone's very happy, and it's something that you just need, like especially now in this season, we need to learn to kind of like ride and use the energy to use or for practice now, and then hopefully for the game tomorrow.